The objective of the conference is to address the most essential issues of engineering, technology, computation, automation, and knowledge management. It also serves to foster communication among researchers and practitioners, working in a wide variety of scientific areas with a common interest in improvement of engineering, technology, and knowledge management, related tools and techniques. It aims to bring in the academicians and practitioners to jointly discuss and deliberate through their plenary talks, paper presentations on the theme of engineering, information technologies, operation, and knowledge management. The conference will provide you with a common platform to foster research relations between the universities and the industry. The vision of the conference is to bring together technology experts in one venue, not only to present breakthrough research in the area of computation and automation application, but also to promote practically and applications in interdisciplinary exchange of ideas. Now, Ave is going to give you a brief introduction of Professor P.K. Kapoor.
Now, I would like to welcome Professor P.K. Kapoor, sir. Professor P.K. Kapoor, sir, is currently Director of Amity Center for Interdisciplinary Research, Amity University, Noida. He has been a former Dean of the Faculty of Mathematical Science and former Head of the Department of Operational Research, University of Delhi. His vast research experience in the areas of software reliability, optimization, innovation, diffusion modeling in marketing, and multi-criteria decision-making as a tool for interdisciplinary research in human resource development, marketing of brands, and big data product adoption, and other areas of management. Illustrated through his work over 42 PhDs and 25 MPhil scholars. Our second chair,
Dr. Rafi Alsem, Amity University, Dubai. Dr. Rafi Alsem, a highly qualified academic and experienced professional, joined Amity University, Dubai as an assistant professor in the electrical engineering department. He obtained his BSc and MSc in engineering from Jordan University of Science and Technology and a PhD in Network and Control Engineering from the University of Bradford. His research interests includes artificial intelligence, intelligent control, and communication networks. He has worked as a professional consultant for business and digital transformation in the energy, higher education, and IT sectors, bringing a wealth of experience to his academic role. Now we are called upon the authors to present their papers. So first we have author Varnika Agarwal, Seema Sahai, Namita Sahai. The paper title is Navigating the Digital Landscape, Prioritizing Challenges in Supply Chain, Management of Digital Twin Implementation. The time is around 10 minutes. And 8 minutes for presentations. Please try to be within the time limit.
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope my slides are visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So I will be presenting along with my co-author, Dr. Namita Sahai, the paper on navigating the digital landscape, prioritizing the challenges in supply chain management of digital twin implementations. So in this context, what we are going to do, we are first going to understand what exactly is a digital twin. So a digital twin is a recent concept that have come up in business operations and specifically in the area of supply chain management. So what it actually does, it makes a simulated model for the particular supply chain by making it and then running the entire system in the virtual representation, which includes that if assume my model is for transportation right now, so it will make the entire model for the transportation of the entire services, and instead of running it on a live data, on a live network, what it does, the data is captured and then it is simulated in an environment and it is run in that manner. So this basically helps us in understanding the analytical part of the supply chain, that how digital analysis and how business mining and process mining can be used to optimize our network, as well as to make sure that the product reaches from the one end to the other end very seamlessly. So once the model and the cost are optimized in a virtual world, then the same model is applied in the real life scenario. So this paper actually talks in this sense. So what we are trying to do, this is actually a very recent concept that have come up and the problem with it is that there are a lot of hurdles in implementing the speed, so specifically in emerging economies of India. So the concept came into picture in the United Kingdom and so forth in the developed countries, and it has shown a lot of progress in terms of optimizing the cost, in terms of making sure that the product reach on time, in terms of promising real-time visibility, and the use of analytics, including the predictive, prescriptive, and other analytics in the decision-making scenario. But the concept is not really up to the mark when we talk about the emerging economies such as India. So what we have done over here, we have identified the challenges that is actually hindering that why this concept is not being implemented, because in one way it is a very cost efficient manner. So supply chain, as we know, that a lot of cost is involved in the transportation. So transportation cost around 30 to 40% of the entire product, and the remaining costs are little, or the second major cost that is there is the raw material cost. So if we want to hinder it out, so it is very important that we do it in a simulated manner, apply all the analytics tools, and then implement the model in the real life scenario. So we have identified the challenges and then we have prioritized them using the best worst method. So in the literature right now, mostly for digital twin, it is a theoretical based literature that is there in the existing papers. So we have papers which are talking about the concept of a digital twin. We have papers that talk about how it is impacting the cost of the digital twin, but really looking forward from the emerging perspective and in ways of the challenges have not been addressed till now. So more and more paper are on the technical side of the digital twin implementation. So we have used the simple methodology of best worst method, because the data collection part in this is easier as it is a new concept. So when we went to the decision maker and came up with their opinions, so they were also not having that much clarity to give us responses for a thematic analysis. But where the prioritization came, so it becomes easier for them to understand and give. So these are few of the challenges that I have sorted down. These are the technological challenges. Again, these challenges are not directly available in the literature. So very few recent papers are there who have one or two challenges that they have addressed based on the problem they had faced. Majority of these challenges come from the reports of or the white papers that have been published by McKinsey, by Deloitte, by KPMG. So these challenges include the data integration and interoperability challenge, the real-time data, because we are using the real-time analysis, we are using predictive analytics, we are using the other kind of analytics. So day by day or minute by minute data is needed in this process. Then predictive modeling, how exactly we are using it, at which state. So people in analytics as a field, normally people are not aware in such about the usage of these things. They know little parts about their own specification, but implementation specifically when it comes to supply chain management, because most of the predictive analytics is used in marketing right now. So that is there. And obviously the data security. So if you are having a high value product for which you are creating a simulation model, so your data privacy and cyber security become a major issue, because a lot of stakeholders will be working together on this data sitting from their homes. So that you are not even needed the people to come, because the virtual model can be built on your laptop. So that again is a major issue. Then scalability. So because supply chain, one of the major problems in supply chain is the scale, that there are n number of nodes. If we convert it into an LPP, it becomes a heuristic problem, because even from a small product, so the number of SKUs are a lot of, there are a number of warehousing a lot of, there are too many suppliers, then the endpoint, the retailer, they are again huge in number. So this becomes a very complicated linear programming problem also if we integrate. Then human machine integration and technology standardization. And last is the latency issue, that how the data is transmitted between the values. So in terms of organizational challenges, we have the major challenge as the change management, how the companies are adopting to having fun. On one day, they were doing it in Excel and they are using the macros and everything. On the other thing, everything is simulated. So how easily the employee training can be there, how easily the usage of analytics in supply chain can be there. Then cross-functional collaboration, because it requires a lot of IT tools, it requires a lot of work for the analytics part. So how these people are collaborating with the operations people. Then resource allocation, data governance, who will have the right for the data, because a lot of entities are involved, a lot of stakeholders are involved. So this data governance is another issue. Then supplier and partner integration. If we want to integrate everything in a simulated manner, then the integration is necessary. Regulatory compliance, again, we have to abide by the data security and other issues that has been set up by the government. So that is another
Excuse me,
thing.
ma'am.
And
I would like to request you to please wind up.
I am last two slides are there.
Thank you.
So then the strategic alignment. So based on these challenges, what we have done, we have taken up 5 decision makers, taken their opinion for the best burst in a Likert scale of 1 to 9, and taken the best to others and others to burst for each of these notations. We have done it for technological as well as for the organizational challenges. So if I talk about the technological challenges, so the first rank, these are the individual data set that we have got from various the ranks that we have got from is calculating the best worst method. So first is the rank for the data integration and interoperability. So this is the foremost priority, because it requires seamless connection between various nodes or clients of the supply chain for a digital twin to work. Then advanced analytics and predictive modeling. So harnessing the insights that you got from your data is again another major issue. And similarly, scalability, because the supply chains are growing at a very fast rate. So scalability plays another important role in this. Similarly, we have done it for organizational, and in those the top three contenders were regulatory compliance, because the regulations on data are very volatile. They keep on changing at a very fast pace. So that is one major thing that the companies need to take forward. And then strategic alignment, how exactly is the aligned? Is it aligning with the objective and goal of the organization? And finally, data governance and ownership. So these are the 3 major things. It is a work in progress paper. So till now, we were able to receive this result, and maybe in the future, we may apply the legendary 2-way method or any other method to further analyze our model. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Where is the boy?
Any questions from Dr. P.K. Kapoor and Dr. Rafael Singh?
Thank you. Thank you.
Varnika, I have little. No, most of this your study is first on what is it which finally tells you that you say work in progress. What is left, which is not
further analysis of our results are left. So we have till now only applied the best first method. We were thinking
how
of.
do you ensure? No, best first fine. This is standard now. They have become standard methods for MCDN, isn't it?
Yes,
so
sir.
When you apply this method or that method, they already prioritize your whatever you want to prioritize.
Yes.
Only thing is, you remember you did something with MISBA.
The 2-way method. So we were thinking of applying 2-way in now to validate our results.
At this stage, you should not be doing. You should make it a wholesome paper.
Yes, sir.
Not leaving something. If I ask a question, don't get offended.
Yes,
The question, for example, as this is what we discussed, that you have prioritized, the weights are there, they're attached. How do you ensure it is a good model?
Yes, sir. So the validity part, yes, the validity part we have to apply. That was the thing that
I'm very impressed with the abstract writing, this language navigating the digital landscape,
Thank you, sir.
This is hoodwinking the the researchers attending the conference. This is it looks like a literature stuff, somebody dealing with English literature. So I must but it doesn't, whatever, one is the presentation part, other is the content part. I think you need to do more on that, content. Yeah? The rest is
Definitely.
fine. Congratulations. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Yes,
Now, I would like to call upon Ravi Arora, Mr. Prasad, Arvind, Mr. Arvind, and Nikhil Kaushik for paper title Analysis of Social Media for Stress and Anxiety Detection.
Yes, very good morning to everyone. Am I audible?
Morning.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen.
Mike.
My
Sir, I
screen
would
visible?
like to
Everyone?
request you to please wind up within 8 minutes.
Fine, sure, sir, sure.
Thank you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Sir, no, your screen is invisible.
Let me check it once again.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Is it visible now?
No, sir.
Sir, not yet visible.
Yes. Is it visible now? Hello?
Sir, it's not
Is
visible.
my screen visible? Hello?
No, sir.
Please try to refresh.
Yes. Fine. Now is it visible? Nikhil sir is there? Hello?
Sir, it's not visible.
Please call the next presenter.
Next, I would like to call Bhavna and Namita Sahai. Paper title Impact for Financing on the Pre and Post Listed Performance and Evidence of Indian SMEs.
A very good morning to one and all present here.
Please introduce yourself. You are.
Please introduce yourself.
Bhavna, please introduce yourself.
Yes, a very good morning to one and all present here. Present yourself. Is the PPT is visible to all of you?
Name, please. Are you Bhavna?
Is the PPT is visible to all of you?
Ma'am, you haven't presented, I guess.
Yes, I think PPT is visible.
Yeah, yeah, it's visible now.
Okay.
Okay. So Bhavna, please introduce yourself.
Yes. Myself, Bhavna, research scholar of MET University, ICCAKM MET University, and my guide is Dr. Namita Sahai, Professor AIBS MET University, Noida. Our topic is impact of financing on the pre and post listed performance and evidence of Indian SMEs. One of the most important and debatable topic in management finance is connection between debt financing and company's performance. There are a number of significant research available on the impact of corporate leverage policy decision on the generation of company's value, and literature are available of that. Debt financing is linked to a trade-off between benefits and expenses and beyond a certain amount of total debt. The advantage of total shelterings are outweighed by the expenses. Achieving a satisfactory debt level is essential for any business, as it is not only helps in attain profitability and firm value, but also boost up in organization capacity to handle its competitive environment. About review of literature, at the time of reviewing, we found 3 types of reviews are available. First is negative impact, second is positive impact, and third is non-linear relationship between financial leverage and firm performance. Research gap. The majority of these studies give preference to large listed firms, not to small firms. And this issue is brought into light by our current study from the standpoint of view of listed SMEs, which are significant players in the Indian economy, particularly in India. The government gave SMEs listed platform in 2012 to help them to develop further and raise the profitability of direct access of capital through initial public offerings. Owing to evolution, it is imperative to determine and compare the impact of financial structure on the performance of Indian listed small and medium enterprises in pre and post listed period. The study provides an important answer to the following research question. Do the listing actually helps them in the performance of the SMEs? Objectives of the study are to determine the relationship between financial structure and performance of Indian listed small and medium enterprises. And second objective, to analyze the impact of financial structure on the performance of Indian listed SMEs. At the time of selecting the companies, we have checked that the number of Indian SMEs which were listed on stock exchange in 2014-15, only 38 companies have listed themselves. 2015-16, only in totality, total 44 companies have been listed themselves. In 16-17, the number have increased, and in 17 and 18, we got a proper number, that is 150. 150 companies are there. Those listed themselves on BSE as well as on some on BSE and some on NSE in 2017-18. So accordingly, we taken the period pre-listed and post-listed period from 17-18, 4 years before and 4 years after for the study. And out of 150 companies, we can attain the data of complete financial information of 130 listed SMEs are available. Data collection has been done from CMI ProVes, and some of the data obviously is not available on ProVes that we have collected from draft prospectus of listed SMEs. The research tool that we have applied is GMM. These are the measuring variables, independent variables, financial structure, and in financial structure, we covered debt equity ratio, equity to capital employed, total debt to total asset, and equity to total asset. For dependent, profitability, return on capital employed, return on net worth, return on total asset, and net profit ratio. And control variables, firm size, age, and growth. And supporting literature is also there. Analysis has been done in two parts. First is for pre-listed and second is for post-listed. And in pre-listed, we have found that debt equity ratio, equity to capital employed, size, age, and growth are the significant variables. And in post, same, debt equity ratio, equity to capital employed, size, age, and growth are significant variables. And accordingly, model have been developed. Findings, major findings, if I said, profitability. SME's profitability dropped after an initial public offerings. Normally, profit should be increases, but there is a decline in the profits, which is consistent with the previous results. The study also find an evidence of decline in business growth. Even after getting direct access of finance, their performance is going to decreases. And if we check the debt and equity proportion, trend of debt equity ratio has been falling sharply from pre-period to post-period, from 1.78 to 0.73 in 2022, which clearly indicates that companies are moving towards more and more own capital funds rather than their borrowed funds. And our results are supporting to the results of the latest study of Galke 2021. Any questions?
No, you said this, you applied GMM model?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but the results that you arrived at, they don't seem to be using GMM model. Is it?
Sir, actually first, this is step by step. Yes, step by step sir apply किया GMM के लिए भी पहले pooled apply किया, pooled regression, then fixed effect, then उसके results के accordingly then GMM apply किया sir.
GM ultimately जो findings हैं, are they based on GMM?
Yes sir, tables are based on GMM.
Wondering GMM, you have a ready-made software?
Sir, on eViews I am working.
Okay. What is now? What is left in this paper? What is not completed?
Sir, on last finding parts I have worked but I am also working on finding pots also. That why their profitability is going to decrease even after getting the access of finance, even after getting access of finance from the IPOs through IPOs, but still their profitability is going to decrease. What was the reason of that?
Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Dr. Rafi also, do you have any questions?
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now calling upon the next presenter.
Excuse
We
me,
have.
can you allow me? This is Ravi Arora. I was not able to.
Yeah. Sure.
Please.
You can present.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Ravi, I would like to request you to please start your presentation.
Yes, Sayed.
No, sir, I was actually calling Dr. Ravi Arora.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry. As Dr. Ravi Arora is not present here, we should move on to the next presenter. We have Dr. Vikrant Vikram Singh, Nishant Kumar, Shailendra Singh, Minakshi Kaul, Aditya Kumar Gupta. The paper title is Assessment of Artificial Intelligence-Based Digital Learning Systems in Higher Education Amid the Pandemic Using Analytic Hierarchy. Is anyone from this paper title present here in the we should move on to the next presenter.
I would like to call upon Meenu Chaudhary, Anam Afaq, and Shikha Kapoor. A paper titled Predicting Employee Churn in Retail Using.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Is my PPT visible?
Yeah.
Thank you all for providing me this opportunity to present the paper. So my paper title is Predicting Employee Churn in Retail Using CAT, Who's on the Horizon. So the objective with this paper, there is the high churn rate, employee turnover in the retail sector, particularly in the front end employees. So losing an entry level employee cost a lot to the business, and we have our studies based on the surveys that are already available. So as per LinkedIn Global, the turnover percentage is 11.4, the surveys of 21 to 22 period, and as per another LinkedIn survey, which is previous to that, is 13%, which shows that the turnover rate of employees is very high. So there has been a lot of studies related to employee turnover regarding the factors that lead to employee turnover, but there are very few studies that have started focusing on the prediction of employees who are on the verge of leaving the organization. So that is the objective of us, to identify the retail employees, to predict actually that who can leave the organization. We did our keyword this is the result of this Scopus database, when we use the combination of keywords to find out the articles in conference papers. So when we use the keyword of employee attrition, employee churn analysis with respect to retail, we found the few studies, but when we use the combination of keywords like employee turnover, machine learning, and retail, so there are less in very few papers, I would say, or there was no relevant paper that was available to us for that. So we have tried, so in this study, we have used the machine learning algorithm to predict the employee churn. And this is also that due to the increase in e-commerce and decline of brick and mortar stores, businesses require significantly few people on the ground than they did in the past. Only 35% of those who leave retail professions remain in the business, meaning that many former salespeople must pursue whole new careers. So the cost is very high, and in order to reduce that cost for the organizations, it is very imperative to take the proactive actions. And proactive action is to identify the employees who can leave the organization. So this is the some of the prominent research in the area of employee churn and machine learning. So these are the few papers that I have selected to present here, because the most of here the data sets that have been used for the employee data sets that have been used are generalized data sets, and some of them are the already readily available data sets of IBM HR data set or Kaggle data set, which are already available online. So the most of the studies have focused on those data sets, and there is this study by Srivastav and Ikmampati in 2021 who used FMCG employee data set, and Khera and Divya in 2018 they used IT employee data set. So we have done our literature review also on the factors that lead to the employee turnover. So job satisfaction, job involvement, salary, working hours, job content, work environment, career development, age, gender, educational level, marital status, and tenure. These are some of the already studied factors that lead to employee turnover, and we have tried to accommodate all the factors when we collected the responses from the retail people. About our data set, it is that we collected the responses from around 543 employees of retail, and 446 responses were used because due to the inaccurate or missing values. And out of those 446 employees, 295 were males and 151 are females. We have used IBM SPSS Modeler 18.4 version to do the prediction. This is the research framework. So in this, the whole study is divided. When we do the prediction, so it requires a lot of pre-processing of the data. So once the pre-processing of the data is complete, which is like refining the data, filtering the data, cleaning the data, and then dividing the data into training and testing data set, wherein we, in this study, we have used the ratio of 80:20. We have trained 80% of the data, and then we have tested the 20% of the data to come up with the accuracy of our model. So in the second, that is learning algorithm. In this, we have used CAD because it when we run the when we run our data on this IBM SPSS modeler, so CAD was the algorithm that showed the best performance as compared to the others. So we use the auto classifier first. Under auto classifier, it automatically gives us the solution that which is the best classifier. Then in the next step, we build the final model, and in the last we do the prediction, wherein when we add a new data to our model, so it will automatically predict that whether this person has what percentage is the accuracy of the result, and what percentage are the chances that this person may leave the organization. So this is the result of CAD algorithm, wherein as I told you that our data set was divided into 80:20 ratio. So for our training data set, the accuracy was 89%, and for the testing data set, it is 84%. So for the evaluation matrix, so these are the results for our training and testing data set for AUC, which is the area under curve and Gini factor. So this is when we compared the actual churn with the predicted churn. So when this is the result that we got, so we use the partition node to divide the data into training and testing. And for each training and testing, we have got the result that how many of them were correct and how many of them were wrongly predicted. So if we see, we can see that in the training data set, the correct predictions that were made were 297, and the wrong predictions for the training data set is 41. For the testing data set, which is 108, of the 20% of the whole data set is 108, and out of 108, 90 were correctly predicted and 18 were wrongly predicted. So this is the confidence matrix of the predicted churn value. So this confidence matrix tells us about that how many are true positives, true negatives, false positives, and false negatives value. So if we can see that and this is in the confidence matrix, it is being shown individually for the training and testing data set, but how many were, and when we add this, we can get the true negatives, true positives, false positives, and false negative values of our data set. So this is the cat tree, which was the font size is very small. I have included this in my paper also. So though it may not be visible, but but it has to be on the one slide, so that is why I have put it here. So we have used CAD, and as shown in this figure, the first node 0 is the target variable churn of the training data set. The value of chi-square determines the statistical significance of the difference between expected and observed value. The low chi-square score implies that any differences between actual and anticipated data are due to random fluctuations. And at each stage of developing the CAD tree, the chi-square test ensures that each node is correlated with a statistically significant predictor of the dependent variable. So herein our dependent variable is churn. So every node which is being connected, so at every stage a chi-square value is there. So that tells the correlation. The limitations, if we talk about the limitations and future scope of study, is that the sample size can be increased in the future studies. Herein we have used only 446 responses of the retails, but it can be increased, and the author can also focus on the other fields also to predict the employee churn. Though we have used retail sector because there has been mostly the authors have used the already available data sets or for the other sectors, but it has not been happened for the retail sector, though the employees in retail have the high churn rate. So this was all from my side. Thank you so much. Questions? I'm ready for the questions.
Excuse me, what is this employee churn in terms of what?
So
When does the
employee churn
churning
is
takes place?
the number of employees leaving the organizations, who leave the organization. So if I'm saying that the employee churn rate is high, so means that the more number of employees are leaving the organization.
What is the finding?
So the finding is that we have done the prediction. I have included that in my papers. I'm so sorry, I have not included that in my presentation. So in the finding, we can I'll go back to my research framework. So in the end, we can do the prediction that which employee can leave the organization, and also by using this classifier, we can also get to know that what is the accuracy of each results. If, for example, there are 446 employees, for each employee, there will be a prediction that will happen that whether this person will leave or this person will not leave. If my classifier is saying that this person will leave, then what is the accuracy of that result? कि किस percentage के basis पे I am saying that this person is leaving? Is it 80% accurate? Is my result is 80% accurate or 90% accurate? So that accuracy of the result is being shown on for per employee, for each employee.
For each employee?
Yes, for each employee. So I'm not saying ki 446 में से I'm not this classifier machine learning does not say कि 50% of employees will leave. So that is a vague result. Rather, it is more accurate in a way that for each employee the prediction will happen. कि if there are 100 people working in the organization, if those 100 people data is being added to the model, so my model will can easily classify, can easily predict for each employee कि that what is the chance of this employee to leave the organization, or will that person will remain in the organization.
Yeah, there are other reasons for churning, you know.
Yes, the reason for churning is also important.
Maybe
So
other
the
than
classifier, yes, the classifier also gives the predictor importance कि हम किस basis पे ये चीज हमारा classifier बोल रहा है कि किस reason की वजह से employees are more tend to leave the organization. Is it because of the distance from home, or is it because of the marital status, or is it because of the job satisfaction? So the predictor importance is also can also be find out using this classifier.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Well presented. Good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning. Can I share the screen now? Ravi Arora this side. Please allow me.
Dr. Rafi Alsam, do you have any question?
Good morning, ma'am. I'm good. How about you? Ma'am, just a little help from you.
Okay, so now Dr. Ravi Arora and Nikhil Kaushik can present their paper on the topic analysis of social media for stress and anxiety depression.
Yes, very good morning to everyone. Our topic is analysis of social media for stress and anxiety detection. So, why did I choose this topic? Is my curiosity about the stress and anxiety and depression. Stress is basically if some stimuli comes to us, we respond to that particular stimuli. But if we don't have response to that particular stimuli, we are not able to deal with that stimuli. Then stress basically happens. Stress is there is de-stress is there. Stress is basically for work motivation, but de-stress is causing the deterioration of physical and mental health. So why did I choose social media for detection of stress, anxiety, and depression? Because these days youngsters don't prefer going to psychiatrists, psychologists. They're really scared of going to them. Most of them are available on Facebook, Twitter. So they randomly post comment on Facebook, Twitter. So from their comments, I can easily analyze whether they have anxiety, stress, or depression. Now the strategy which I have applied for detection of stress and anxiety for Twitter, this I will show to you. Me show you what is the technique which I applied. This is my problem statement. I have used topic modeling and topic classification. Topic modeling for stress and anxiety comments, I have given 1 number and 0 if there is no stress and anxiety. And for topic classification model, for topic classification, I have used machine learning and then I moved to deep learning. I have used machine learning, then deep learning to improve my performance and accuracy. I'll show in my further slides as I move from one machine learning to other machine learning model, then to deep learning model, my accuracy is improving with the help of confusion matrix. This I'll show you. This is my data set which I use, which is from Kaggle, and these are the Twitter comments. Now, the strategy which I applied for finding whether this Twitter comment has anxiety, suffering from anxiety or depression is that I have combined this Twitter data set with my Facebook data set. Now, this Facebook data set is an authentic data set, which is already a proved data set for stress and anxiety. So this Facebook data set already had comments till those who have stress and anxiety. So when I merge this Facebook data set with the Twitter data set, from that Facebook data set, we can analyze from the Twitter data set, this comment belongs to depression or not. Because all the Facebook data set, all the Facebook entries were of stress and depression entries. From matching both the entries, I very well can analyze from the Twitter tweets that this person has stress or anxiety. As we also are aware of this, whenever we suffer from stress or anxiety, our cortisol hormone is being released. Now, this cortisol hormone, basically when this is in excess, our blood pressure and heartbeat increases. So these are the comments also which are being pushed by the user on their tweets. Now, this is what I have done. I have shown the picture. These were my tweets and these are my Facebook comments. This you can see. These comments can very well show you these are your stress anxiety comments. and tweets which I was detecting, I have combined them with them. So after combination, I can very well analyze from this tweet that this person is suffering from stress or anxiety or not. And there is one more point to note. Whenever someone is suffering from stress, anxiety, or depression, there is sympathetic system which is at peak. The sympathetic system makes us alert, and our parasympathetic system is not working at that time, which makes us relax. So this I have shown in my further slides. Now the algorithms which I have used is non-negative matrix factorization, LDA, then SVM, random forest. Then for deep learning, I have used LSTM, single layer, double layer, and bidirectional. Now, the strategy for using all these algorithms, first of all ML, then moving to DL, is I will show you this with my confusion matrix. This is all overview of LSTM and everything. Now, these are the observation which I observed. When I use SVM confusion matrix, you can very well see I have obtained accuracy of 78% and 77%. Then I moved to deep learning approach. I use single LSTM. I got accuracy of 93.4%. Then I use double LSTM. I got accuracy of 94%. Further, I use bidirectional STM. Then you can see 95% accuracy. So this was the strategy of moving from machine learning to deep learning and the various deep learning models. And that is the reason why I combined stress, anxiety, tweets, or with Facebook authentic data set to analyze this person has stress, anxiety or not. This is all from my side. Any questions?
Yes, I have one question, please.
Haji, sir.
Sir, I saw that your data set compared to the population of India and the users of India and Twitter, for example, 25,000. I think it's very, very small, and you cannot sometimes take a decision on this. I think in your case, should be the data set very, very huge to just to prove that your algorithm and is working properly. I'm not sure.
Sir,
I'm right or no, but this is my comments on this.
What I get from you, you said ki if there is a small data set, we will not be able to detect, as if I can get from you. This is what you spoke, sir?
Yes, what I'm saying is that the data set is very small compared to the community your the reflections of your study on them. So you are talking about India, a population more than 1 billion. So I'm not sure how many users of the X platform there, but I think that set is very small compared to implement your algorithm correctly.
Okay, I got your question. You're basically saying that data set for small data set, this project may not be useful. But sir, I clearly use machine learning, deep learning approach, various variations of model. Even if the data set will be small, it will be able to detect stress or anxiety because I have used various variations. In my machine learning, there's deep learning also I have used for topic identification. I have also, I can very well analyze even for small data set, it will work.
Okay, sir. For my side, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Professor P.K. Kapoor, do you want to ask any other question?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Now we call upon the next presenter, Neha Gupta, Namita Sahai, and Kamini Rai. The paper title is Volatility Spillovers Between Exchange Rates and Stock Markets in the BRICS Economy. Sorry, ma'am, your audio is not clear. Sorry, ma'am, you're not audible.
This is not audible, Neha. It is faint, still very faint. Just check your audio. Is it okay? Can you speak for a little? You are audible, but it is not very, very clear. You are audible, but it's not clear. If you can probably come closer and increase the volume or something. The MCs, is it okay?
Sorry, ma'am, it is not at all clear, to be honest. You can check your mic and we can call the next presenter and then you can join again when the issue is resolved. Now we call upon the next presenter, Panjlata, Natasha Hastir, Rahul Sindhwani, Alvin Philip, Rishika Sharma. The paper title is Avatars in the Virtual Realm, an integrated approach to enhance digital community interaction. Sir, you will be having 10 minutes to present the paper. You may share the screen now. Sorry?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Sure.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. Oh, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me on this platform. So the study that we are going to present today is Avatars in Virtual Realm, an integrated approach to enhance digital community interaction. So digital avatars, as the name suggests, does not come up with something very challenging or something which can lead to different causes. But digital avatars in the recent year, as it started spreading out, has led to multiple problems, and it has called upon an approach for implementing it properly and also coming up with a proper framework. So to introduce digital avatar, Alvin, can you switch the slide? So the contents that we'll be discussing in this throughout the study is initially introduction to what is digital avatar and how it is impacting our daily lives, the research methodology that we have used, the objectives and the resulting discussion that we came upon, finally conclusion and future recommendation for future developers and policymakers for metaverse. So what is digital avatar? So usually what we see in virtual communities at least is something that is mostly textual based, text based or video based or some specific domain based which cannot be modified or implemented further. Digital avatar that came upon has given us the opportunity to be creative and edit our avatar, our identity, and share the beliefs that we have while editing and coming up with the avatar ourselves. So it's a unique way for individuals to explore and share and socialize about themselves. And it's also a good platform for content creators and businesses for them to advertise and socialize with their consumers. So the importance of digital avatar in our current life is self-expression and identity. As I suggested, we can modify the digital avatar and have the avatar speak up about our beliefs. And at the same time, it's a vital way for social connection and communication, because nowadays a lot of companies have started coming up with virtual meetings on metaverse because it's easier for them to visualize what they want in their future prospect through metaverse than through any other platform. And similarly, it's a good and efficient manner for enhanced learning and education, because the more interactive it is, the more students can understand the concepts. And business and marketing has found its way in almost every virtual community, and metaverse is no less. So since it's such a vital part of our education system and also multiple businesses and advertising system, and we see media as a major way of understanding something. Media plays a very big role on our identity and how we think about something. If media is portraying something extremely negative, we usually tend to think that something is in fact negative. So virtual avatar has a very huge impact on us. And so it's important to analyze how implementing it is important. So the research questions throughout our studies are so on.
So this were some of the research questions which we came across while we were doing the study. So first question was, what could be the factors which could be related to implement the digital avatars in the metaverse? Second, we came across, if we find the factors, then what could be the solution method which could be provided to ensure the factors does not pose any challenge to the implementation of digital avatars? And finally, the third question was, what implications or potential propositions could be there while addressing these factors? So we came up across these research methodologies. So first of all, for the literature analysis, we use the PRISMA approach to identify the primary factors. And then according to that, we came into a conclusion of 43 research materials, and based on that, we found the challenges and solution using the BWM and Viker approach. The BWM and Viker approach will be explained in the further slides. This is the flow of the study which we had conducted. So first of all, we search in the databases, various corpus, Google Scholarly, and based on that, we came up across 43 appropriate research papers / journals. And based on that, we prepared a decision panel, and experts gave their opinions based on the ranking of 1 to 9. And we developed a framework using the BWN and Viker approach. And if the credibility ratio was less than 0.1, then we had to reevaluate the whole process again. And if the credibility ratio was less than 0.1, then we moved on further with the application of Viker to rank the solution measures which could be beneficial to rank the solution, and also address the relationship of implementation factors and solution measures. Now we came across the BWM approach. So the BWM approach is used to find out the best and the worst method, and based on that we rank them. So in this we have divided this into 3 major groups, that is technical, economical, and social. And the major group weights has been showed in this. So these are the major group weights, and according to it, they have been ranked as you can see in this table. And we move on to the Viker analysis, which is used to rank the solution. So first of all, we normalize the data, and the normalization of the data was done using the total ratio method, which is done by dividing the rank of one factor respect to the sum of all the factors, so that the calculation is easy and non-biased, and the data is normalized. And based on that, normalized data, we used a Likert scale, which was on a scale of 1 to 7, and the industry experts rated it, and according to it, we calculated the ranking index of the solution method. And now we came to the results and discussion. So according to the Viker analysis, which we conducted in our study, this were some of the topmost identified solution measures, that is virtual infrastructure sharing and remote work to accommodate people of all abilities, establishing a legal framework and clarifying their ownership, elevating connectivity through infrastructure investment and edge computing, promoting social inclusion and diversity, and using blockchain and technologies to increase the security of a metaverse, and also to protect the data and identity of the avatars in the metaverse. This is the graph which we had analyzed during the Viker analysis. So the lesser is the PY value, or the the value of py closer to 0, the more is the accuracy of the data. So this graph shows the accuracy of the data, and ranking based on that ranking has been calculated. And further implications and recommendations from the study which we have conducted is that optimizing metaverse infrastructure is necessary, enhancing the connectivity and fostering a comprehensive metaverse ecosystem is necessary. And the recommendations for developers and policymakers would be that developers should prioritize network infrastructure, avatar customization, and long-term engagement. And recommendation for policymaker could be like morely focus on fund research and development project, and provide a user-friendly environment for people of all abilities and backgrounds. And also the developer should look into the security protocols and more into blockchain technology so that they can protect the identity and security data of the users in the metaverse. Finally, would like to conclude.
So concluding the entire study, we can now say that Metaverse offers limitless possibilities for socialization, communication, and even work. But if not implemented properly, can lead to severe challenges. The key factors that we identified throughout the paper were incorporating avatars in the metaverse, behavioral and social complexities, and network connectivity. As Alvin already explained, incorporating avatar in metaverse is extremely necessary, because if it's not adaptable and inclusive, certain range of people can feel neglected. And even in offline campuses and offline communities, it's very normal for certain people to be neglected and feel left out. So it's absolutely more important to include this in metaverse, because metaverse especially includes a lot of anonymity. So it's very easy to be left out and also leave out certain ability people. So including all these are important, and we hence came up with the comprehensive framework to include edge computing, virtual infrastructure and sharing, inclusivity and positivity, and finally to implement security measures like blockchain. Our future recommendation, as Alvin already suggested, are for policymakers to establish more clear norms, improve content delivery management, because everyone does not have the same device or same connectivity with the metaverse, and inclusivity to foster a secure and successful metaverse environment. We are open for question if you have any, and we would like to conclude here.
Yeah, just one simple question with this. Why did you take a hybrid best first method and Vickers hybrid? Does it help?
Why did we take hybrid BWM and ICCAKM method? Is that what you're asking?
If you had taken BWM alone, you know, why apply Vickers?
So BWM method is just for ranking. So in case if we have technological, economical, and social groups, then it's easy for us to analyze that in certain situation, which factor would be best and which factor would be
For
worst.
which factor you applied BWM, for which factors you applied Vickers, then only it is you apply either this or that, both together.
No, we have applied both together.
Yeah.
We applied BWM first to understand.
That's what I asked the question. Where is the need? Can you do it alone without the hybrid?
Oh, we can. Yes, we can do it alone. But when you include BWM, we can understand how there are different solutions and there are different factors. So we can understand which solution is best for that factor. If the solution is for improving inclusivity, then social factor would be best. Economical factor would not be so best, and worst would be, let's say, technological factor, because technological factor serves very less weightage when it comes to social problems. So BWM is to understand which solution would be more preferred for which factor, and we applied BWM to understand which factor would cover maximum number of solutions, basically. And then we applied Viker on the same to rank the factors.
No, but are the results different? Did you
Sorry?
apply Piker on the same factors?
I'm so sorry, you're not audible.
No, I said hello now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I said, but I don't know this. BMW, BWM. Anyway, some other time I'll see when it comes for review later. Thank you.
We can rewind and show it again if you want.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
for
much.
having us.
Dr. Rafael,
Can I
do you
present
have
my
any
paper
questions?
now?
Dr. Rafael?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I don't have
Okay,
any.
sir. Thank you. Okay, so Neha Gupta, you can present your paper. The paper title was Volatility Spillovers Between Exchange Rates and Stock Markets in the BRICS Economies.
What is the number?
Is it visible now?
You haven't shared the screen yet, but yeah, your audio is clear. It is visible now.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. A very good morning, all. I myself, Neha Gupta, pursuing my PhD in finance from MIT University under the guidance of Dr. Namita Sahai. Today, I am presenting my paper on the topic Volatility Spillover Between Exchange Rate and Stock Market in BRIC Economics, New Evidence from COVID-19 and Russian-Ukraine War. Over the past 2 decades, global economic growth has been impressive, but it has not been consistent worldwide. While developed countries faced a slowdown in development due to events like global financial crisis and European debt crisis, BRICS nations have become key drivers of global economic growth. Various economic crises such as Lehman Brothers case, COVID-19, Russian-Ukraine invasion, Israel-Palestine war have significantly impacted global market, leading to information transmission between assets. Investors seeking to safeguard their money recognize the importance of understanding interconnectedness in dynamic global markets to mitigate risk during these fluctuations. Awareness of how macroeconomic variables like exchange rate, interest rate, GDP impact the stock market equips investors to make more informed decisions and adjust its strategies accordingly. Considering BRICS nations like BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have seen big economic growth in the last 20 years, investors are paying a lot of attention to the stock market in these BRICS countries because of their strong economic growth. People who invest money, financial experts, government decision makers, always keep an eye on how exchange rate and stock prices are changing in these growing economics. Studies shows that both financial and non-financial crises seriously affect how exchange rate and stock market behave in these countries. This study aims to re-examine the relationship between exchange rate and stock market in BRICS nations with specifically focus on the two recent major crises, COVID-19 pandemic and Russian-Ukraine war. Empirical research has been conducted to investigate the connection between exchange rate and stock market. The recent focus of researchers has been on assessing the influence of COVID-19 pandemic and Russian-Ukraine war on the stock market, along with the exploring how macroeconomic factors affect the stock market during these crisis periods. Existing literature indicates a substantial impact of COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war on the relationship between oil price, gold, exchange rate, and stock market. However, there is a limited number of studies that specifically re-examine the correlation between exchange rate and stock market indices in BRICS nations during these two events. The objective of the study is to examine the volatility spillover between exchange rate and stock indices of BRICS nations during COVID-19 and Russian-Ukraine war, and to assess the impact of COVID-19 and Russian-Ukraine war on the relationship between oil price, exchange rate, and stock market of BRICS nations. Daily data from October 29, 2018 to August 31, 2022 is utilized to examine time-varying correlation, categorizing the data into pre-COVID, during COVID, pre-war, and during war subperiods. The daily data of exchange rate is extracted from the official website of Bank of Reconciliation Statement, and daily data of these stock market is extracted from the official website of these stock indices.
This study employed the return series for the analysis, as the price series may contain unit root. The return is calculated as the natural log of the ratio of current price and one-day lagged price. The DCC-GASH model is employed to study the time-varying correlation between stock market and exchange rate. And R software is used for the data analysis and graphical representation. The level of significance is 5%. The result of the studies show that during pre-COVID, this is a result of DCC-GASH model. Here, DCC A1 represents coefficient of short-run volatility spillover, and DCC B1 represents spillover in long run. The result state that during pre-COVID-19, the coefficient of DCC A1 is not significant in any country in short run. It shows that there is no volatility spillover in any country in short run during pre-COVID period. And the coefficient of DCC B1 is positive and significant in all countries in long run. It shows there is significant volatility spillover in all countries in long run during pre-COVID. However, during COVID-19, the coefficient of DCC A1 and DCC B1 is significantly positive in all countries except South Africa. To be precise, there is no spillover from exchange rate to stock market in short run during COVID. It furnishes diversification opportunity to stakeholders of both forex and stock market in short run. However, in South Africa, absence of this spillover in long run indicates diversification opportunity to stakeholder in the long run also. By comparing the result of pre-COVID and during COVID period, it can be concluded that COVID-19 significantly impact stock market and exchange rate relationship in South Africa only. Considering the impact of Russian-Ukraine war, it shows that during pre-Russian-Ukraine war, the coefficient of DCC A1 is not significant in any country in short run. It shows there exists no significant volatility spillover in any country in short run during pre-war era. During pre-Russia-Ukraine war, the coefficient of DCC B1 is positive and significant in all countries except Russia in long run. It shows there exists significant volatility spillover in all countries except Russia in long run during pre-war area. By comparing the result of pre-war and during war, it can be concluded that Russian-Ukraine war significantly impacts stock market and exchange rate nations in Russia only. The dynamic of exchange rate and stock market during COVID-19 outbreak revealed a consistent pattern across various countries, with the exception of South Africa. This suggests that investors can generally rely on the stability of diversification opportunity even in the face of natural outbreaks. Conversely, the Russia-Ukraine war has a notable impact on Russian stock market, urging caution among investors looking to diversify funds in this particular market. However, the remaining market outside Russia still present viable opportunities to fund allocation, maintaining the stability of diversification option. In mitigating risks, the British stock market emerged as a promising destination for short-term diversification for retail and global investors, as well as portfolio manager. Stakeholders are advised to focus on the robust risk mitigation strategies applicable to both natural and man-made outbreaks, while policymakers should adapt strategies to efficiently address the diverse response observed in the wake of such events. Thank you. Any question?
Dr. Rafi, do you have any question?
No, thank you, Dr.
Okay. Moving on to the next presenter, Harmony Kaur, Tanya Sharma, Anika Bhargava, Sumita Gupta, on the paper titled Image Demonstration Using Neural Networks.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible and is my screen visible?
Morning.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
And is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's clearly visible.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Hermione Kaur, and I'm a student of Amity School of Engineering and Technology, Noida. The title of my paper is Image Demosaiking Using Neural Networks. So, to first understand what is image demosaiking, we need to understand how color images are captured by a camera. So, when light enters a camera sensor, it first passes through a color filter array. And while there are various types of filter arrays that can be used, the one that is predominantly used in most cameras around us is the Bayer filter array. So you can see the Bayer filter array in this picture. So Bayer filter uses a grid arrangement of red, green, and blue filters. This design choice is made to mimic the visual sensitivity of the human eye, which is particularly responsive to green light. The grid arrangement can be seen in this figure. Every pixel gathers input from the three primary colors, as you can see, blue, green, and red in the grid. And but it lacks the ability to fully display the entire range of wavelengths, as it just registers just one of the primary colors for each pixel. So the process to get a comprehensive color image which has the complete information for each pixel is called demosaiking. So first, for the demosaiking process, first we create a mosaic image from the Bayer filter image. We get 3 mosaic images for each color filter, which is red, blue, and green. And then we demosaic, which is estimating the missing color values for each pixel. As we can see in the reconstructed image, for each pixel value, we have 3 color channels, red, green, blue, but this is missing in the original Bayer filter image, which we capture from our cameras. So for this, to get a reconstructed image that can truthfully represent all the color values for each pixel, we use demosaiking. So the demosaiking methods can basically be categorized into 2 types. There are traditional interpolation methods, which use mathematical models or rules for estimating the missing color values, and there are neural network methods. In our phones, we mostly use traditional interpolation methods. So the first amongst them, which is the most common, is the bilinear interpolation method. This is the most straightforward method to demosaic an image. So as we can see from the figure, for example, we have, for a pixel, we have only the red color value, and for estimating the other color values like green and blue color values for that particular pixel, which is represented with a plus here, we will take the average of all the other color values around it. For getting the green color, we will take it in a cross manner, and for getting the blue color values, we will take the average of the diagonal pixels. The second is the Malwari-Cutler method. So in this we basically employ directional interpolation to estimate the missing color values. It considers both horizontal and vertical directions for interpolation as compared to the bilinear interpolation, which typically only takes the weighted average of the nearest 2x2 neighbors in the grid. So MHC Malwari-Cutler method uses a model that accounts for color correlation, leading to improved performance in capturing the statistical properties of the natural image. So what do we mean by color correlation? Basically, for estimating the red pixel value, for example, we do not only take into consideration its red neighbors, but also the green neighbors of that particular pixel. So we take the color correlation between the red channel and the green channel, and this is followed throughout for estimating all other color pixels. So moving on to some of the neural network methods. So the first is, the most popularly used, is the joint demosaiking and denoising network. So in joint demosaiking and denoising method, it aims to address 2 common challenges in digital imaging, which is noise reduction and demosaiking. So instead of treating denoising and demosaiking as an independent process, joint method models the relationship between noisy and incomplete measurements. For example, the presence of noise in the color filter array samples can affect the accuracy of demosaiking and vice versa. During training, so for training of joint demosaiking and denoising network, the original raw images undergo a debayering process, where we average 2 green pixels to obtain the green value while retaining the red and blue values. And to further reduce the noise levels, the images are downscaled by a factor of 0.25. Now these are treated as our ground truth images. Why do we need to perform these manipulations for obtaining ground truth images? Because, for example, when we take the case of remote sensing images, there is no ground truth available. We can't actually see what the images look like from from the human eye. So we need to get the most accurate ground truth through denoising methods to for further training of our demosaiking networks. So this network is trained on a data set containing pairs of noisy color filter array samples and their corresponding ground truth images. The second neural network method is the three-stage, and the second most popularly used is the three-stage CNN. So for the initial step, the color filter array on the color filter array, we perform bilinear interpolation, which is employed as our starting stage for this training. In the initial stage, the green channel is reconstructed and the input green is divided into input red, input green, and input blue before being entered into the first phase of the training. So this quality intermediate green channel guides the reconstruction of the red and the blue channel in the second stage, and we explore the relationship between the red-green and the green-blue. The variations in the interchannel correlation are the driving factors behind the utilization of two distinct networks in the second stage for reconstruction. And in the third phase, we further leverage these interchannel connections to gather data for the red, green, and blue channels. And ultimately, the last stage produces the demosaicked outcomes. So why do we need neural network methods if we use traditional interpolation methods in the cameras used in our phones? Because even though they give a decent representation of the original input image and maybe they do not show much difference to the human eye, but for scientific image analysis, we need to capture the maximum pixel information and getting the most accurate color values. This leads to better feature extraction. So that's why we need neural network methods. So the data set used for this analysis is the Mars color camera images, which have been obtained from the Mars color camera, which is a payload on board the Mars orbiter mission. The MCC images utilized in this paper are focused on the region surrounding the Valles Mineris, which is a canyon on the Martian, which is the biggest canyon on the Martian surface. The reason for selecting this data set is basically these state-of-the-art methods have not been analyzed for images that have been captured in low illumination conditions. They've only been analyzed for natural images taken on the Earth's surface. And for remote sensing purposes, we need to understand how well these methods work and what are the drawbacks for each state-of-the-art methods and how we can improve upon them. So from a visual comparison of all the methods that have been analyzed, we can see that the three-stage CNN and the joint demosaicking and denoising networks give the most truthful representation of the reddish-brownish color of the Martian surface as compared to other methods. And this can be validated through quantitative metrics as well. So the quality metrics used for comparison amongst these methods is the peak signal to noise ratio, PSNR, BRISC, which is a no reference image quality model, entropy, and ORB, which represents the number of features extracted from these images. So from a quantitative comparison, we see that both the neural network methods provide overall good results, the three-stage CNN providing the best results. And I'd like to conclude by saying that we have analyzed the different state-of-the-art demosaicking methods through a visual and objective comparison for techniques like bilinear interpolation, Malvary-Cutler method, joint demosaicking and denoising network, and three-stage CNN. And for future scope, so basically there are still drawbacks in the neural network methods, like artifacts in regions with sharp contrast. So we would like to improve these algorithms for demosaicking by employing more advanced and currently used deep learning technologies. And basically there is a second drawback. There are not a lot of no reference image quality models to assess the quality of images. The BRISC is amongst the only few methods which is a no reference image quality method. We need this because as I mentioned, there is no ground truth for remote sensing images. So we need to analyze the image on its own without comparison to other images. So we need more no reference image quality models, which can also be implemented with the help of neural networks. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Any questions from Dr. Rafi also?
Please call the next presenter.
Next, we have Vijit Chaturvedi, Natasha Tageja, Lavesh Kumar Sharma. Paper Augmented Reality, a strategic knowledge management tool for sustainable decision and making for Industry 5.0.
Anyone from this paper present here? Vijit Chaturvedi, Natasha Tageja. Okay, so moving on to the next presenter. We have Yuri Kloshov, Nikita Koval, and Lisa Shamina. The paper title is Consumer Manufacturer Interaction by Quality Function Deployment.
Уважаемые коллеги, добрый день.
Hello, everybody. Hello, dear colleagues.
Мне будут помогать с языком.
So I'm gonna help Professor Klochkov to translate his speech.
Я очень рад видеть профессора Капура. Мы давно с ним не встречались.
It's a pleasure for me to see Professor Kapoor. It's been a long time. We've last met each other.
Он все так же задает очень сложные вопросы.
It's about him to ask very difficult questions.
Я надеюсь, что мы с ним еще увидимся в Индии.
I hope to see you, Professor Kapoor, in India soon, sometime.
Yeah, in Feb, we have another conference in Feb.
Следующая конференция в феврале.
Я постараюсь быть в феврале.
I will do my best to come to you in February.
Окей. Уважаемые коллеги,
Dear colleagues,
я занимаюсь развитием методов менеджмента качества.
I'm in development of quality management methods.
И работая со сложными техническими объектами, мы заметили...
So I deal with very difficult technical object systems.
Да, техническими системами мы заметили, что методы менеджмента качества начинают друг другу мешать.
We have mentioned that
Конфликтовать.
these methods of quality management, they conflict with each other.
Собирая большие данные и формируя базы данных о качестве продукции,
So while collecting big data of quality, of product quality,
да, мы заметили, что решения, которые предлагают методы, иногда конфликтуют между собой.
so we have mentioned that those decisions of quality management methods, they conflict with each other.
Но самый простой пример – это конфликт между диаграммой Паретто и диаграммой ICCAKM.
The easiest example of this is the conflict of Pareto diagram,
Паретто
Pareto
и
diagram and ICCAKM diagram.
Одна из них основана на исключительно статистических данных, а другая на экспертных.
One of which is based on statistical data, and another one is based on expert data.
И часто возникает ситуация, когда эти методы предлагают противоположные решения.
And very often we see the situation when these methods they offer different decisions.
Мы для того, чтобы решать задачу конфликта методов между собой, мы стали их интегрировать.
In order to solve this problem, we have decided to integrate these methods.
Например, для решения задач сертификации продукции.
For example, to solve the problem of certification, of product certification.
Нам удалось провести интеграцию методов КОФД и ФМА.
We have managed to integrate the methods of QFD and methods of FMEA.
И на тот, и на другой метод есть международные стандарты.
Both methods have international standards.
Но их совместное использование меняют формулы расчета, указанные в данных стандартах.
But if we use them at the same time, both methods at the same time, then we have to change formula.
Да.
We have to change formula.
КОФД-анализ позволяет нам понять требования потребителя.
QFD analysis allows us to understand the consumer's demand.
И превратить их в технические характеристики продукции.
And требования превратить.
Ну, да, превратить в требования, да.
And allow us to
Получить.
Change these demands to the quality, качество продукта.
Requirements. Ну да, требования.
To the requirements of the product.
FMA-анализ позволяет нам оценить производственные риски.
FMEA analysis allows us estimating production risks.
И при их совместном использовании нам пришлось иначе рассчитывать важность характеристики.
And when we use them at the same time, then we анализируем.
Да, анализируем характеристики.
Then we analyze the characteristics of value.
Правая часть формулы расчета характеристики стала другой.
And the right part of this formula has changed.
В итоге мы получали большой развернутый дом качества.
As the result, we have the quality house, the big diversified quality house.
И по результатам дома качества уже строили карту рисков.
And then we build the risk chart.
При этом изменились и модели расчета риска для производственных систем.
And risk model calculation has also changed for the production systems.
Нам пришлось учитывать не одну модель расчета рисков, а три.
And we had to have in mind three models while calculating this risk.
Это связано с тем, что КОФД-анализ позволил нам лучше понять причины возникновения риска.
This is because QFD analysis has allowed us to understand the analysis risk.
По причине риска.
The reason of risks.
Я извиняюсь, что не все успел перевести на английский язык.
I'm terribly sorry that I didn't manage to translate everything into English in my presentation.
Но основная идея заключается в том, что мы строим не одну карту рисков, а три.
The main idea is that we build not one risk chart, but three risk charts.
Потому что учитываем разные причины возникновения риска.
Because we have in mind different reasons of risks.
В результате мы получаем карту рисков, которые находятся в зеленой или красной зоне.
As a result, we have a risk chart which is in both in green or red zone.
Я постараюсь в своей статье отобразить все более подробно и понятно.
I will do my best to show everything in details in my paper, in my manuscript.
К сожалению, на сегодняшний день я не успел так хорошо подготовиться из-за ограниченного времени.
Unfortunately, I'm very much lack in time, so I didn't manage to get prepared very in details today.
Надеюсь, в будущем исправится.
So I will do my best to change in future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any question?
I have a question.
So it is good to see you anyway, but
Рад видеть вас.
Professor Yuri, it's good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good to see you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Все в порядке?
No, yes, I changed my job and now I work in serious university, but I wait that my minister give me different work.
So
Сейчас я
he's-
слишком много изменений.
He's waiting for an appointment, a different assignment or a different assignment.
It's like a very difficult period for me.
Please come over in February.
Пожалуйста,
Next February.
I try, yeah. It's very
We send you the invitation. And
yeah, you
Я
couple of
отправлю
days, they
приглашение.
separate.
thanks. In Amity University.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
The conference will be held in Amity University, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
February.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please call the next presenter.
Next, we have Amit Sao and Sakshi Singh. Empowering decision-making in information technology enables services, organization, and empirical analysis on the impact of artificial intelligence-driven knowledge management.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Are we audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Could you see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
All right, great. So very good afternoon once again. I am Dr. Sakshi from Amity International Business School. I'm also joined by Dr. Amit Sao, who's my co-author in the paper. We are presenting our paper on behalf of Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh and Dr. Fazil Malik. The title of our paper is Empowering Decision Making in Information Technology Enabled Services Organization, which is an empirical analysis on the impact of AI-driven knowledge management. To introduce the paper, the importance of artificial intelligence in knowledge management rests in its ability to expedite data processing, identify patterns, and extract valuable insights. Now, this in turn enhances the decision-making environment by providing more knowledge and accuracy, ensuring that organizational plans are aligned with the ever-changing demands of the market. As emphasized by our previous researchers, the integration of AI and KM not only improves the effectiveness of information retrieval, but also promotes cooperation and creativity inside the ITS organization. So therefore, this research aims to explore the complex relationship between AI-driven knowledge management and decision-making in the ITS industry. The success of organizations is, we could see that it is contingent upon 4 factors, namely the efficiency of corporate system rules and processes, capacity to provide required service models by separate departments, and so on and so forth. This is how the stage of knowledge evolution looks like. In the previous papers, we were able to find out how the data, when processed, turns to be information which is actionable, and therefore then at the end, when processed well, it emerges out as wisdom, actionable intelligence. This is how the knowledge management process looks like, wherein we are first identifying the knowledge needs, moving on to the discovery of existing knowledge, the acquisition of it, creation, storage and organization of knowledge, sharing of it, and using and applying of knowledge using expert system, artificial neural network, and intelligent agents. For the literature review, see the expanding on the current discussion, it is clear that there is a noticeable lack of study in the detailed examination on the effects of AI-driven knowledge management in the ITES sector particularly. So to address this absence, it is critical to conduct a thorough examination to entangle the complexities of AI's impact on knowledge processes in the ITES sector. Therefore, it is crucial to establish the study objectives that will be able to fill the gap and enhance our comprehension on the profound impact of AI in such organizational settings. To be able to fill the gap, we have been able to identify 3 clear objectives for this paper. Number 1 being analyzing the effects of AI-driven knowledge management in the ITES organizations, evaluating the correlation between AI-driven knowledge management and the elements that influence its impact. And thirdly, delivering practical suggestions to improve AI-driven knowledge management in ITES organizations. Basis on this, we have been able to create the following hypothesis. I will move now to the research methodology, wherein the current investigation employed a quantitative research approach to investigate the impact of AI-driven knowledge management on employee performance in the ITES sector in Delhi NCR. This research relied on stratified sampling to fully reflect the NCR information technology-enabled services industry. The AI-driven knowledge management factors were measured using a Likert scale questionnaire, wherein we had focused on effective decision-making, information accessibility, work satisfaction, and organizational performance have been assessed. Information was collected via an internet survey to select the company workers, wherein a group was handed 400 questionnaires. Out of these, 313 replies were considered legitimate, resulting in a response rate of 78.25. The research participants had a broad demographic profile with representation across many parameters. Regarding age, there was 26.2 of the participants were less than 32 years. The gender breakdown revealed that 67.7 of the participants were male, while 32% were female. When it comes to experience using AI technologies, 14.38% of individuals had less than 3 years of experience, wherein 49.5, which is absolutely about the half of the population, they had the experience of between 3 to 6 years of experience, and 36.1 had over 6 years of experience. Coming to the impact analysis, the study thoroughly examined the effects of artificial intelligence-driven knowledge management on organizational performance using a rigorous statistical methodology, including factor analysis and SEM. The initial assessment of the data's eligibility for factor analysis involved performing the KMO and the Bartlett test of sphericity. The result verified that the data is appropriate for factor analysis as the KMO values were significant. The study has highlighted 5 crucial areas that demonstrate the influence of AI on organizational performance, such as strategic planning, data decision-making, decision accuracy, creativity and innovation, resource optimization, and risk management. The combination of these factors explained a significant 71.62% of the variation in the data, indicating their importance in comprehending the overall influence of AI and KM.
Come to the conclusion.
The research, the SEM analysis depicted in the figure here offers a graphical depiction on the connection between the discovered components and their corresponding degree of significance. Now, this study's finding revealed through the identification of factors and use of SEM it has offered a valuable insight for organizations who are seeking to fully utilize AI, improving different aspects. The result of hypothesis, the empirical evidence clearly supports the rejection of the hypothesis and suggests that AI and KM there is a noticeable and significant positive effect. The findings as presented in the table provide evidence for the positive impact of AI and KM on several aspects of organizational performance. in conclusion, we can say that the influence of this impact may be observed in several domains, including strategic decision planning, decision accuracy, creativity and innovation, resource optimization, and risk management. The findings of our analysis uncovered a wide-ranging demographic composition within the ITES industry in Delhi NCR. And by employing a rigorous approach that integrated factor analysis and SEM, we have discovered that AI-driven knowledge management has a substantial and favorable impact on crucial organizational performance metrics. Thank you.
Are we visible there? Any questions from the chairpersons? Dr. P.K. Kapoor and Dr. Rafi Alsam, any questions from your side?
Thank you very much.
Done. Now, as we came to the end of our conference, we would like to say thank you to both of our chairpersons, Dr. P.K. Kapoor and Dr. Rafi Alsam.
Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks, Gaurav.
Thank you, Sayed. Thank you very much.
So I have a question for Dr. P.K. Kapoor. It's related to the paper submission. So there are some formatting changes that I need to make in the camera ready paper. So till when can I make those changes?
Yeah, we'll write to you. We'll write to you soon, you know.
Sorry, sir.
You already got an acceptance letter?
No,
for this presentation, acceptance?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did.
So we will now write to you. Let this be over next week, or you know, we'll write to you to submit a full paper, and then yeah, and then the process starts. It goes to Springer.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Gaurav. Leave, Gaurav.
Yeah. Now I think we come to the end of the conference. We don't have more papers. I thank you all for participating and presenting your results. I hope this brings in some networking, or fosters some collaboration later. Let us see. I hope so. Thank you for your participation.